So this time it's going to be something a little bit different. I'm not going to read a poem that someone else has written. I'm going to share with you a poem I wrote a few years ago now when I was really struggling. It wasn't long after I'd been diagnosed with my Ehlers danlos. And trust me, that was a roller coaster of a ride. Still struggling with my diagnosis now. I'll go more into that another day. But for now, I thought I'd share this. Anyone else out there with Ehlers danlos will understand this, I'm sure. But here we go. And this is really hard for me to share because I'm really private with my feelings. I quite often don't tell people how I'm feeling. I'll keep it hidden until I reach boiling point, and then, even then I don't tell people. I will hurt myself before I will admit I need help. I am trying to work on changing that, but it's not easy. At the moment, I'm waiting for my new hospital to get all the paperwork from all the other mental health facilities I've tried to get help from, get all that paperwork in place, and then it'll be up to the psychiatrist to sit down with a cardiologist and a neurologist because of how the Ehlers danlos affects my body, and because I'm in end stages heart failure and I'm in irreversible acute kidney failure, which has given me 6 months or less to live. So medicating me when I'm on a bunch of medications, like I think I should rattle when I walk, that's pretty bad, is fun. And then, the medications that they've tried in the past have interacted with my body quite ferociously, made me quite sick. And the one medication that gave me a glimmer of hope that I might not be completely batshit bonkers for the rest of my life didn't work because it affected my heart. Because that's what the Ehlers danlos does to you. Your body metabolizes medications differently, and so that's what it did to me. It worked great, but slowed my heart rate down to the point where no one was comfortable with me continuing to take it. So we've got a couple of options, but that is why a cardiologist and a neurologist need to be, conferred with at the same time, because the options are a anti-seizure drug, but because I'm already on 0.5 gram a day of anti-seizure medications for other issues, they are a little bit cautious, and I would have to give up one of the 2 medications I'm already on. So good luck, Chuck, because one of them I've been on for over a decade, which is Topamax for my migraines. Works great, more or less. I still get the odd migraine, seasonal changes, stress, excessive noise, triggers that will make it worse, but mostly it's controllable now, thankfully. And the other one I'm on is Tegretol, Topamax and Tegretol. And the Tegretol is for trigeminal neuralgia, which is also known as suicide disease. So, and that one was not fun to get on. I still do not have fun times with that. Basically, if I suddenly look up and then look back down while I'm walking, or suddenly turn around really fast, it's like a free fairground ride. It's great, but it does help keep the nerve pain to a minimum So those are two drugs that they don't want to take me off, but if, you know, this third one they're looking at may help, they may be able to take me off one of my other ones and put me on this one. So they're looking at that, and the other option they're looking at is clonopin, but it may affect my heart. It's great, hence why there's going to be a team of 3 professionals looking at my notes, my case, how sick I am, and what my body will potentially tolerate. But enough of that, we'll go into this. So this is the poem. Like I'm gonna pre-warn you, it can be pretty confronting in places. Trigger warning, you know, if suicidal thoughts and stuff like that trigger you, I'd suggest you don't listen any further. But for me, that, you know, was how I felt at the time. I still struggle a lot, particularly now I'm so sick, but that's another video. So here we go. Why can't I just end things? I just don't even know who I am anymore. Day by day this curse has eaten away at me. It came creeping slowly at first, ever so slowly. It made me believe this wasn't so bad, that I'd cope. Then it started creeping in a little faster, but still I coped. Sure, by now it was getting difficult, but it just takes time, right? Despite the way it was really taking over my life, I just grinned and bore it. Never let them see this sick poison and the way it spread through my body. There was once hope in her eyes, just a hope despite the pain that it'd end. As the years have ground by, the hope has faded faster and faster. But after more than 2 decades of this and no end in sight, what's even the point? What's the reason for me to still be alive? Is there even one left anymore? You see stories like this all the time, those that had so much to live for. You don't see the desperation behind the pain. You don't see the suffering. You only see the weakness. You only see the anger. You see the pain. You don't see the real me behind all of my pain, all of my tears and fears. All you see is me pushing help away because I don't know what to expect. Been let down so many times in this world by life. People, the system, I got no trust. I can't even make up my own mind about whether I want to stay or go. A tiny part of me says stay, but practical me says, what's the use? My family all understand my choices and say they'll support me no matter what. But what would they really do if I could follow through with it? Would they be there until the very absolute end? The stripes winning this war? Because I'm so tired of these constant battles that something has got to give. They've taken from me a husband, a family, employment, being a regular kid my age. Instead I got a cursed body, more failed relationships than fair. And I'm a hermit. I long for those conversations I have with friends online. Sweet escape. Friends who truly understand what it is to live like this. But they can't be the only reason I'm holding on for life. I just wish there was a way to have it both ways, but I know there's not. And like a cancer grows, so does my pain eating away at every ounce of joy. And that cancer screams for more and more, but it eats faster than I can create. I've totally lost all my will to survive in this cask of a body. And I still feel that way, even after all these years. But I'll explain more in another video, because that was really hard for me to read. And if you're struggling with any of those thoughts, talk to someone you can trust. You know, there's a lot of helplines out there as well. Maybe one of those will help. There is always some way to get help. But if you live with a chronic illness like Ehlers danlos, or anything like that, my heart goes out to you, because it is the worst curse to live with. I know from experience. And I truly wish that we were more visible, but we are the invisible, because no one knows what this is, how this affects us. To everyone, we're just lazy, you know, and that's not fair. And to doctors, we're hypochondriacs, or we use Dr. Google, or other nonsense, and it's not fair. We should not have to fight as hard as we fight to get the same level of medical care that a normal person does. We need more awareness.